Did you know that a virus commonly found in birds has just been detected in dairy cows for the first time? Let's dive into this surprising development. Today we're exploring a very important story in the world of agriculture and public health. You may have already heard about the bird flu affecting chickens and wild birds, but did you know that a new strain has now been found in the dairy cattle? This recent development could significantly affect not just our farms and food prices, but also the hardworking people who kept our food supply steady. Let's take a closer look at what we know so far. On February 5th, 2025, the U.S. Department of Agriculture announced the second strain of bird flu. They called it the D1.1 genotype, has been detected in dairy cows in Nevada. It's the first time ever seen this particular strain in cattle. Until now, 957 of them to be exact were linked to a different strain known as the B3.13. This is a new chapter in an already serious outbreak, raising questions about how fast the virus can spread and how we can keep it in check. The avian influenza, commonly known as the bird flu, mostly spreads among birds but can sometimes infect other animals including humans. Since last year, the farm has had to deal with bird flu outbreaks. Over 70 people in the United States, mainly farm workers, have caught the virus. This doesn't just affect our health, it also shakes up our economy. Egg prices soar to record highs because tens of millions of egg-laying hens die or had to be culled. Now, milk production is also threatened, which could push up dairy prices in stores. As we try to protect both animals and people, scientists and farmers are keeping a close watch on how this virus changes and spreads. The new strain, called D1.1, isn't directly new to science. Researchers have tackled it in wild birds during the past fall and winter. However, it's never been detected in cows until now. Milk samples collected in Nevada as part of the USDA's National Milk Testing Strategies revealed the presence of the D1.1 for the first time in dairy cows. This strategy has launched in December 2024 specifically to keep tabs on the bird flu in milk. The fact that viruses has jumped from birds to cows suggests the virus is more adaptable than originally thought. While bird flu mostly affects poultry, it now appears to can affect dairy cattle and potentially other farms' animals. That's why quick action is needed to contain it. This development reminds us that the virus aren't static. They can change and find new homes anytime a virus cross species lines. We must take it seriously. Scientists call this spillover, and it often happens when animals from different species are kept near each other or when viruses become better at making the jump through small genetic mutations. Consequences for the farmers and workers and consumers. The big concern here is how fast and how widely this new D1.1 strain might spread. Farmers already face the task of protecting the flocks and herds from the virus they thought was a limit to a single genotype. Now that they have to gear up against two possible threats, B1.13 and D1.1, each requires careful handling to avoid spreading the virus from one farm to another. The USDA urges everyone to follow strong biosecurity measures, such as disinfecting equipment, limiting farm visitors, and wearing protective clothing. The virus has already affected the health of around 70 farm workers in the US, reminding us that these outbreaks don't stop at the barn. Human cases might stay relatively low, but even a handful of infections matter. The fear of further human transmission and the possibilities of more severe illnesses puts a real weight on both the farmers, community, and the health authorities. Consumers also feel the impact when animal illness disrupts the food production. We witnessed dramatic egg price spikes after the loss of so many laying eggs. If the virus continues or sicken or stress dairy cattle, milk availability might drop and prices could rise in the coming months, although we don't have hard numbers yet or how this will affect the market. It's important to prepare for potential changes. Looking ahead with further thinking and view, so what do we do to next? USDA is working around the clock with state agencies to monitor the D1.1 strain and contain its spread. Scientists are expanding testing strategies and creating more precise methods to detect infections quickly. Farm workers are being trained of pertaining to tightened biosecurity. These combined efforts, animal testing, work education, and strict on farm rules, forms one of the best defense against bird flu right now. We should also take a forward-thinking view. This outbreak underscores that virus can evolve, spread to different species, and cause ripple effects in both the economy and public health. By investing in more research, improving vaccination options for animals, and keeping the public informed, we stand a better chance of preventing further outbreaks. On top of that, supporting farm communities during tough times ensures that we maintain a stable food supply and protect people at the front lines of our agricultural industry. Ultimately, it's a team effort research. Farmers, policymakers, and everyday consumers all play a role in containing these outbreaks. We need a honest communication, solid science, and responsible behavior to shield both animals and ourselves from this virus that seems determined to adapt and persist. Thank you for tuning in and staying informed about this ever-changing situation. By understanding the facts and keeping a watchful eye on emerging strains like the D1.1, we could keep our food supply secure and our communities safe. It remains vigilant, support our farmers, and continue conversations about better policies and stronger safety measures. It's through communications and collective effort that we can navigate these challenges and protect the well-being of people and animals alike. Together we can turn knowledge into action and protection of our farmers, workers, families, and from the ongoing threat of bird flu. Leave a comment so we can keep the conversation going, and see you in the next video.